Okay, we're going into another sketching session, and just remember, we're always starting out with simple shapes. Okay, we've got a kind of a close up of a barn. I really like drawing barns because there's so many simple shapes in there. But the first thing I'm looking at here is what angle do I have to draw? See that line right there? That line is in perspective, and so then that'll help me with that line. And then those lines are not straight down. And look at that bottom line. It's like they're going to a vanishing point. So now that I've got that in mind, I can start to lay this out. Now watch, I'm not going to be perfect about it. I'm just going to be deliberate and just start it. And once I drew that line, I see that it's not quite right. So let me work it differently. Let me get the approximate angle of the other line. And I'm just giving myself a basic overview so that I can continue to build from there. So it's kind of like putting up the frame of a building, and then you continue to build and build until you've got a full building. But I just want to make sure the angle and direction of my lines are pretty close to right. The proportions of them pretty close to right. Now look at how loosely I'm sketching. Look at how I'm holding the pencil. I'm not trying to be perfect. Just laying out large areas, and now from those large areas I'll start to fill in smaller areas. Just watch how I just quickly do it. Not trying to make a perfect board. There's boards going in a certain direction, so I just go ahead and just lay them in. When you get ready to do the finished drawing, that's when you can take more time and be more careful about placing each board exactly right. Right now, we're not at that. I'm just trying to do a quick sketch to get an idea of whether I've got a good idea for a drawing or not. So I want that to be quick, because if it's not a good idea, I don't want to spend an hour on a sketch and find out why I don't think this will be a good painting. So I'm just drawing quickly now, just laying stuff in here, laying it in there. And when I get one area to where it's up to a point to where it can remind me of what to do next, then I'll go to another area. I don't want any one area to get too far behind another. I'm just kind of building from left to right and right to left and top to bottom, kind of all at the same time. And I'm looking for major shapes, not little details, but just major shapes that's going to give me an overall view and understanding of what I might have as a painting or as a drawing. You know, if I wanted to do this as a finished piece of art. And of course, I know that this is not proportionately correct, but it's going to be a good enough sketch for me to see if I might can make a good painting out of it. And if I think it can end up being a good painting, then I can always, put some chickens in the foreground or something, something alive to give the picture some life. So this barn would just be the backdrop. We want it to be accurate, though. You want it to be exciting. And what's exciting about this is all those broken boards that are going every which direction. That all of those different shapes that makes is really cool. So now I start to put some value in here. Now watch how quickly I lay this in. I'm not trying to be perfect. I just want to start to see what a little value can do to make for an interesting piece of art or not. So I'm just laying in bold areas of value. And I'll be able to start to see pretty quickly if I've got the makings of a decent drawing or a decent painting. It doesn't take long. And so as it's starting to shape up, I'm better able to see whether I would spend time doing another sketch on it or two more sketches on it, and trying to refine it and perfect it each time. Because I would take this, I might do 5, 6, 10, depending, 15 more sketches on it until I got it exactly right, got it proportioned right, got it sized right. And in my last few sketches might even have an example of what it might look like with a horse sticking his head out from inside of there, or with a couple of chickens, or even with maybe a couple of children sitting down playing in in the dirt. You know, you never know. Whatever you try a few different things, and you never know which one's going to work. Could have some chickens out there while some children are playing. You, you know, you never know what it's going to look like until you take the time to draw them. And your first one may not be the best one. So, you know, I'm still in sketch mode, but see how those values that I put in there made that fence stand out, and now you can see, you know, that there's darkness inside and a fence blocking it. Until you actually take the time to put that in there, you're not going to know what it's going to look like. Look at how loosely I'm sketching those lines in. This is just a sketch. Just be deliberate. Fill in large areas. Look at how quickly I'm doing the lines. I'm not chicken scratching those lines little at a time. Just lay the line in there and just be done. Get comfortable with drawing a long line. Just do it. And that's the reason why you're holding the pencil like this in the first place, is so that you can use your whole arm, your from your elbow to your wrist, and just go ahead and just make the stroke. Again, bold shading. And I'm starting to see that there could be some possibilities for this turning into a piece of art. And you never know exactly how the finished piece is going to look, but this is just your start. This just lets you know that you got something to work with. But you want to spend some time practicing the simple strokes. Look at how I'm just laying that in there. I'm not trying to make a perfect blade of grass. I'm just indicating. I'm just saying there's grass there. And then moving on. Because in my quick sketch mode, I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time on this. This is just letting me know if I've got something to work with or not. This is not the finished piece. But you can see it shaping up. And I don't know how you feel about it, but I'm seeing that, okay, this has possibilities. This could end up being a decent piece of artwork. And of course, I would spend a whole bunch more time on it. I'd be more careful about it. I might maybe size it differently, maybe make it smaller.